that have done it. The materials have changed quite a bit. When I saw, I was a little bit shocked too, but there is no marshmallow. I see there are balloons up here, so I just hope kids don't start playing with them.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that, exactly. So this, every school coach, head coach should have got one each, right? Or if you don't, there is a station right where the sign-in is, pick up your one as a head coach. If you want additional, there are, they're selling up there for, with the kit, and I believe somebody told me it's $20, so. I didn't buy one, but somebody just told me it's $20. So if you want, I think it can do up to 12 of them in each kit. So the kit has everything that you will need. Now I would say if you want more, feel free, go to Walmart. Everything here is bought from Walmart. So there is no special store event to get it. Everything is bought from Walmart. All right, so for folks that have not seen the rule set, right, you can come in. Yeah, come in. You know what? One more chair up here. Somebody cares. So for folks just came in, there's a sign-in sheet running, and there are, I have some rules. If anybody needs it. Okay, there you go. You can just pass along up here. Anybody needs a rule, have any here. So just going through a couple of things in the rule set that makes the event very important, right? No more than two kids per team, 2 students per team, right? So you can have one, but no more than 2. So can't have 3. Just to make sure we had, last year, they wanted 3, and it's just, doesn't work well with 3. So approximate build time is 25 minutes. The first 25 minutes when you come in will be given for you to do a build. When I say build is we will give you the structure, we will give you all the materials, not this that much, but just a set of material for team, and we will give you an egg in an orderly fashion where we make it a little easier for the kids to work with it. The only thing you can bring is 2 pairs of scissors, ruler, 2 pencils, a pair of pliers. No other tool or material will be allowed. One more thing, I'm going back to the previous session on some questions that were pretty important I thought would be good. You cannot modify the car. When I say that, you can take your pliers and just rub it through and try to cut over or something. You cannot do that. The car should not be changed. This will be given to you. The ones you got or you bought is for you to practice. You cannot bring those. Everything will be given to you. Okay, so you see the list of things that will be provided in construction too, which should be in the kit. Each team will be given grade A eggs, right? I usually get it either from Meyer or so if grade A is grade A, it's not going to change much, but that's what I'm going to, it's going to be grade A eggs, 1 per team. Once you get the eggs, it's your responsibility. If it breaks, that's how you'll be scored. But if, I would really suggest the kids to have secured their eggs pretty well, because they will be given the eggs when they are ready to do a run. I mean, when they are ready to do a build, sorry. So when you are given a slot to come for a build, you come in, they'll line up. We have about 35 to 40 teams that comes in each session. Yeah, go ahead.
Are they allowed to bring anything to protect the egg? Or is that
Correct.
considered a tool? Like you could bring a part of an egg carton to hold it while
Correct.
building?
Correct. It can be, like a box, right?
No, but like
Yeah.
an
Yeah,
egg
sure.
cut down, they can bring
Oh,
that.
absolutely, absolutely, yeah. They can, I've seen the kids getting the socks and putting it and wrapping it in the socks, so,
I
yeah.
was gonna say, I saw a lot of them last year put them in their shoes.
Shoes.
Someone would take a shoe off and set it
Absolutely.
inside their shoe.
Absolutely.
So-
Yep.
But if you
That-
can bring a carton, why would you want to take your shoe off?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't allow that last year, but I'm going to allow that as far as I don't see them making anything out of that carton.
No.
Okay, so, I know, last year we did have many accidents, we only had like one or two where, they broke their eggs, so. But again, like I said, we have stations, there will be, each station, it's going to be on the floor, kids come in, they take their station. Once they settle down, they will have a tray that has all the material, kit, the pine car, everything they need except the eggs. After they settle down, we will walk through every station, we'll hand them an egg. They can, see the egg, if they don't like it, if they think it's heavy, if they think it's light, they have one chance to exchange it. And after that, they have to secure their eggs. So, I know, yeah, go ahead.
At the end of the build time, when they stand up and say they're finished, is the egg expected to be in the vehicle, or is it okay for them to is time added if they need to still put the egg in?
No, time is not added,
So it's the build of the vehicle, and then they can add the egg after.
they can put the egg on the side, they can put the egg in the vehicle. As soon as they raise up their hands, I'm done, we stop the clock. So we get the time on how much time it took for them to build the car.
Okay.
And then they will, go and put on the side.
Okay.
In the past, we've been penalized for not having the egg in the car when the time was stopped.
More than last year.
The year before last,
Okay,
they
not
had.
that, yeah, so, yep. No,
So
you will
now
not
it's
be
not
penalized.
that?
You will not be penalized for the egg not being in the,
It's just the build of the car.
it's just the build of the car. And then you can take your tray and put it on the side. Right. So one other thing, the year before, they did not have a free fall, so I'm going to say, last year we had that, we had a very good success with that. When you make a structure up, right, and when you put an egg in, you can't put your hand and put your egg in. Right, you can softly put it down as far as you can reach, but you can't be pushing it. When you take it out, it has to be a free flow, 100% free flow. Just because
So you mean you can't shake to get the egg out, or what do you mean?
I told in the last session, same thing, I'll allow them to do a couple of wiggles, but they can't go on wiggling for 5 minutes, trying to take the egg out, right? I've seen that happening last year. I've seen kids, they think like, oh, dang, it's not coming out, come on. And then destroy the structure. But irrespective, I don't remember, but I've seen it happening. A lot of, and I want to make sure, last time this wasn't clarified, so I'm making clarification here, that you can do it. You do a couple of wiggles like this, I don't have a problem. I do understand it. But if you just try to wiggle for minutes just to try to take the egg out, I will not, allow that. It's going to be fair for all the teams. So try to make it as free fall as possible. From a structure perspective, nothing should be touching the wheels. Nothing should be touching the ramps. Very important, because we had seen that last time happening quite a bit. People tied their string around the wheels. So when they run the slope, it slows them down. No, that's not the idea, right? We want everybody to make it like a free run. I have seen where last year it happened to quite a bit of teams, and we had to ask them to go back, fix it. It goes against, you do get penalized for it in your scoring, but nothing from your structure. You'll have a station where you come for inspection to, and I should be able to run free flow on that same kind of a ramp, right? And making sure nothing touches in the bottom, that from a structure perspective, except the wheels, nothing on the sides. So, clarification there, right? I do know a lot of times after making the first run, things start touching, no modifications allowed. No modifications allowed.
just have a bumper on the front?
Yes, you could have a bumper in the front. Last year, they had marshmallows, they had cotton and putting, tape, multiple creative ideas that I saw. So, but this time they don't have. So yes, you could definitely do a bumpers in the front, in the back, so whichever, as far as it's not touching the wheels and the ramp. Now, the ramp will be anywhere between 20 to 60 degrees. That will not be known today. That will only be known when you ready to go. But that will be consistent for all 80 teams. So it's not going to change from one team to another team. Once we define a slope, which will be, I think, posted probably 15 minutes before we start the run, it will be for all the teams, the same slope.
3 stations again?
3 slopes, yeah. 3 slopes again, same thing. It can be, you have to survive all 3 slopes, right, in order to at least say I survived the slopes. The slopes can range anywhere between 20 to 60. 20 is very low number, it's not going to be there. I don't expect it. We do say, anywhere between 20 to 60, so it can be 45, 55, 60. Last time we had, I think it was 50, 59 and a half or something like that. But I would still say 30% of the team made it. 30% of the teams made it. I think it was like 25 out of 80 or 78 or some teams made the slopes. So that was very impressive. Even after the rules changed, it was a little bit harder. The previous year, I think it was 70 out of 80 teams made it. So it didn't get much challenging, but last year it did. The other thing that, yeah, go ahead.
Last year, our egg had a crack, but it didn't leak, and we still got penalized.
I don't believe that should be the case.
Okay.
I don't think that would have happened, but again,
Yeah.
like I said, as far as your egg does not leak, you are good to go. After the run, if your egg comes down, comes out, does not leak, you're fine. But if it does leak,
So even if it comes out of the enclosure, the egg, but it does not get damaged, they're not out?
it says.
Because I believe the rule last year said if the egg leaves the car, they're out.
Yeah, you're right. If the eggs leaves a car after the run, it's considered,
Even if
Done.
it's not damaged.
even though it's not damaged, right? And again, same thing, the free fall, it has to come out, right? So when they complete the run, they bring it up and they basically go to its, take it out in their hands. I would suggest for, when you practice, you have 2 kids, let one kid go down, the other kid hold it this way so they don't drop the eggs. I've seen it happening last time. They drop the eggs, and even though they did a great job, but small mistakes like
I seen that
that.
last year at the competition, wasn't our team, I felt so bad. as a
Right,
kid.
and again, to be fair, these are things we learn over the time, right? So I would suggest to use that, practice, so, because both the kids want to run and they want to do the same thing, and it gets sometimes challenging as for us to coach them when they're doing that, right? So as a coach, I would really appreciate if we can, show those tricks to the kids. That's going to help them at least not making basic mistakes. But yes, if the egg come out after the run, it's gone. It has to come out. Yeah, go ahead.
What if, when the car is coming down, when it hits the barrier at the end, if the car flips off the track or something, but the egg stays in and is okay, it's good
It's
to go
fine.
still?
You're good to go. As
Because our
far
cars
as,
flipped over before an accident and came off the track, but.
as far as the egg is intact,
As long as it's inside.
yep, it stays in the car and they take it out as a free fall, and if it's not the egg is not leaking, it can be cracked, no problem. As far as it's not leaking, we'll have a tissue paper up there. They bring that egg, they will roll it over. We don't touch anything. They will do everything. They'll roll it over, roll the egg, and if we see any wet spots, then they fell. But if we don't, then they'll be allowed for the next year. So, let's see. No modifications allowed in between the runs. right? So I don't know if I told you already because I've been repeating for last session too, so. No modifications allowed, in between the runs.
So once the car is built in the beginning, it's built, there's no tightening,
No tightening, I've seen kids trying to, it's loose, let me just fix it, no. You know, we will have people walking with you from one run to another run, another slope, and we will make sure that, you know, you're not changing or, you know, hey, this has gone good, let me just put this, tighten this tape up, right? No. So that's, we've seen that happening, and we had to tell the kids not to do that.
You wouldn't disqualify them though, you would just let them know.
We let them know.
Because you're keeping a close eye, so it's not gonna be a huge modification.
Yeah, it's not a, yeah, I wouldn't disqualify that, but if we see them consistently doing it, I may have to put them a 2-minute warning penalty, right, for fixing stuff or something, which I don't want to, but, you know, just to be fair, because other kids that have also worked that hard, you know, and they have gone through without doing it, any modifications. You will, although, after you come to the inspection station and if we see something is touching the wheels or the ramp, we'll give you 2 minutes to change, or 2-minute modification time, which will be counted as a construction violation, and that's how it's gonna get scored as. So just so, you know, I know a lot of teams made all 3 slopes. They did it in a minute and a half, 2 minutes, they finished their build, but they still didn't make it number 1 because they had a violation. So that goes against the, you know, the time. So, any other questions? While I think some other FAQs have. So there are almost, I mean, if you guys want, there are about 27 FAQs already in there. I think it's over 27 FAQs. On the elementary, Science Olympiad elementary website. So please feel free, look at it. If you have any questions there, come back, you know, there, you can always ask a question via the website and I'll try and respond as soon as I can. So that's, you know, pretty much you can go there and ask any, but there are a lot of FAQs there, so you should be able to get it. Yeah, go ahead.
The opening where the egg has to come out when they're first testing it, where it has to fall out from, does it have to be the top or can it be the back or the sides or something, or does it have to be the top where they're flipping it completely upside down so they can come out?
I don't care if it's on the top or on the side. If they do it on the sides like this and they tip it over, I'm fine.
Wherever.
Whatever is fine. As far as, so nothing is holding it. I'm able to see the egg coming out, right? So, but other than that, whichever way structure you want, you can make it. You will get brand new pine cars. You will get the material and the egg. Okay, you know, another question that came up, I know last time one team had this issue where they had to replace the pine car. All the pine cars are made exactly the same, right? There is no difference in the pine car. It should be healthy. It should not have any problems. You know, so normally we don't exchange pine cars unless there is a substantial reason we see we need to replace one. We will not be replacing a pine car. Well, if we see this is kind of wiggling loose or something like that, yes, we will replace it, right? But that's not like egg where you have one option to replace it right now. Now, I've seen last year where somebody after running the first one, it started wiggling. Sorry, I can't do anything there because this has to, if it was wiggling, then it has to be coming, or it was loose or something wasn't right, it has to be done prior to the first.
So the kid should check the wheels and everything before
I
they start their
would
build.
absolutely make sure the kids check the wheel, put their eggs in the safest place they are. We had a couple instances last year, you know, they took the egg, didn't realize it's gone. grow. I cannot, honestly, it's not going to be where I can just say, all right, just stick it in the egg, it's not gonna- just to be fair to you. And so that's some things you may want to practice, but is making sure, just keep the egg in the same place. As safe as it can. Another point I've seen last time it happened was, they kept the egg in the hand, the kid went up the structure, and this guy's giving the egg, didn't catch it, went down. Hand over the chair, that's all it is. We do, from, this should have all the details on the ramps, so if you want to build the ramps to do any kind of practice, feel free. Your school should also have practice events where you can certainly, do some practice. I'm not sure this year if I'm going to be there or not for the practice events, but if I am, then I'll try and be there, so it will be good. But they will have a practice option there, but if you want in your home or in school, if you want to do that, you can build a structure. All you need is a 2x4, then you can probably go to Home Depot and get those or something. It's not very easy. It's just a piece of wood. Any other questions? Anything that you may? Not then, thank you guys. I really appreciate you taking the time. Feel free, there is a website, go for any questions you can ask, or I think you can.